Okay, and we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the face of the earth. Thank you for joining us. This is Living Health TV, and I am Dr. Benga Adebayo. I'm Dr. Benga Adebayo. Okay, so if you are joining us for the very first time and you have not yet subscribed to this channel, this is a good time for me to tell you to please do so. Please subscribe to this channel, share this video, drop a comment, go around and learn one or two things from the very diverse library of content that we have. Are you looking for documentaries? We have them. Are you looking for health education? We have it. Are you looking for comedy? You also have it right here on Living Health TV. And then we have this live talk show where we try to educate ourselves on various and diverse matters that can help us to live healthier, awesome lives. So please go ahead, subscribe, go ahead and share this link. Let people know that we're live and we are discussing this very, very important topic: understanding women. Understanding women. That's what we're discussing this week. Next week, we will try to see if we can also discuss understanding men. Understanding men, making the most of your relationship. So, we want to start with understanding women, making the most of your relationships, and we call it our Valentine special. This weekend it's Valentine's Day, so people are going to be celebrating Valentine. They're going to be celebrating relationships, love. I love you. Don't love me. I'm there for you. You're not there for me. All kinds of stuff. So I think that relationships are important. If you are joining us as you join, please just say I. Let's know where you're watching us from, and if you're watching after you didn't catch us live, please just drop a comment. Dropping a comment and liking this video will go a long way to encourage me and let me, oh, it does not speak into the air. And that I thank some of our consistent viewers. Thank you. Your feedback and your viewership is important to us. It makes us to keep on. So, understanding women. Before I dive into trying to say, first, let me a disclaimer. I'm not going to be the one to say that I totally understand one, whether male or female. I think that um, there's a lot of this is something that people have been trying to do for decades, for centuries, or millennia. The people have been arguing, men, women, and some people have used some of these discussions to drive sexist agendas to say that women are less than men, or men are more than women, and even till today in the world, there are still some places in the world where somebody is seen to be a female and then that person is seen to be less. Uh, Even though in most parts of the world, a man and a woman doing the same job, the probability is very high that the woman will be earning less compared to the man. They are doing the same thing. They have the same qualifications. The woman is probably going to be earning less than the man. And if you are now unfortunate to be a black woman or a minority woman, wherever you are, you earn way less again. So when we say understanding women, making the best of your relationships, I'm not trying to discuss this to drive a sexist agenda or to say women are this, women are, but it's important for us to realize that there are differences, and there are differences in the way the average man, because of course there is overlap. I think some people may say that okay, men are more analytical than women, so that doesn't necessarily mean that there are no women that have a grace that are able to do analysis or are not analytic. No, they are. But generally speaking, we know that men tend to overthink things. They tend to be more analytics, and maybe because of the demands of society. That's also important to bear in mind that some of the differences I want to talk about. So, like, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I can see we have a number of people joining us online. You've seen some likes. Please like the video as like this, drop a comment. Let me know where you're coming from. It will encourage us and get us on our way. So when we say there are differences between men and women, but there are overlaps, and but it's important for us to realize that there are differences, and some of these differences, like I was going to say, is maybe societal induced. They might not be they might not be per se genetic or uh, uh, brain differences. No, there are differences that arise as a result of gender roles, as a result of what society expects a woman to be, and what society expects a man to be. So, a man that all he has known all his life is to live amongst women, raised amongst women, it's possible that that man may start to have roles and behaviors that we expect from that the society expects. So when we say understanding women, or knowing men, because next week we're talking about understanding men, but this week, understanding women, one of the things that we want to recognize is that, okay, there are differences, and some of these differences are not they are not physiological, they are not genetic, they're not, no, they are just, some of them come as a result of societal expectations, but there are genuine differences, of course, anatomic differences between a man and a woman. Somebody that has the XX chromosome, and when I say men and women, I'm speaking about genetic, uh, 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 your genetic sex. So, speaking from the traditional sense of what it means to be a woman, and that's somebody that has XX chromosome, as opposed to someone that has an XY, that has a Y chromosome. And we know it's still a shame that in many parts of the world that having female children or being a female is seen to be a problem. I read the news report some not too long, maybe some months ago, and I was really disturbed by it. A man killed his wife. Why? Because she had several female kids. It was in India, and she was pregnant, and he suspected that it was another female child, according to him, that she was carrying. So he took a knife and cut her tummy open. That I don't want another girl. That's shameful. Um, a female child, a male child, they are kids, precious, precious. So please, if you are blessed with women, praise, celebrate that female child. If you are blessed with a male, celebrate that male child. Raise your kids, because whether female or male, they can make a difference. They do make a difference. And in any case, for that man that is blaming his wife, "Now, why do you give me children? I want female children. I want a male child." It is the male that determines the sex of the baby, because it's only the male that has the Y chromosome. So if your sperm that fertilizes the egg of your wife, which will always have an X, if you donate a sperm that has a Y chromosome, then you have a male child. If you donate a sperm that has the X chromosome, then you have a female child. So, and that determines the sex of the child. And when you see the difference between a male, somebody, and even if there's a Y chromosome, and that Y chromosome and that fetus is not sensitive to testosterone, because what determines whether a zygote or a fertilized egg, what determines whether it develops into male or female is simply the action of testosterone. And when I say the action, I mean the effect of testosterone. So even if there's a Y chromosome and that fetus, for one reason or the other, that zygote, that fertilized egg, for one reason or the other, is unresponsive to testosterone, that egg will develop like as if it's a female. So that's why we have intersex. We have some people that they they are male, so and then they develop as if they are female. So when you now check them, you see undescended testes, you see all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, intervention is necessary on time to remove that undescended testes, and then surgery can be done to make that person to have an external female uh, appearance. So all intents and purposes, the person will have breasts, will have all kind, look like a female, have skin features of a female, fat deposit of a female, but genetically speaking, that person had a Y chromosome or XSY or whatever, but that body, that baby, did not respond to testosterone because that's what makes you develop. Once there's Y chromosome, the Y chromosome stimulates testosterone production, and so we can say that the main difference between a male and a female is the effect of testosterone, that hormone, that powerful hormone, right? Seriously powerful hormone. So, what are the differences between uh, male and female, and what are the things that we need to recognize as we say we want to understand women? So, I'm married. Um, let me tell you a story. I used to be as a child. As a young man, I didn't really even know there was a difference between me and somebody else until I grew and I realized that in the society that there were some things. It's like women have superpowers. They had superpowers. So I could ask my guys. So as a teenager, young boy, look at that difference. We are not looking different. The person is growing bigger. So I could ask my friend, please, can you give me uh, borrow me your pen? Can you please give me your pen? And the guys don't know what do you mean. No, I don't know that guy. Right. So and I'm wondering, this guy is not giving me his pen. Please give me your pen. And he refuses to give me his pen. And right there and then, a girl could come and say, please, can I have your pen? And that guy that refused to give me his pen, we go like, what do you want? Do you want blue or black? And it's all offering wanting to. I'm like, what? What makes women to have this kind of influence over men? So I had a bias. I just said, no, women are too powerful. Women can control. Women can be manipulative. Until I grew older and understood that that's the way way things are. And in fact, women are a blessing. The world would be a more boring place if we didn't have women folks and male folk, male, female. I believe that they make the world perfect. It's a perfect design. It's a great design. And I started watching out, trying to learn and understand that we are different. The way I say things and the way my wife says things is different. So I should go. I should go and want to celebrate Valentine or you're in a relationship because after Valentine is just one day. But beyond Valentine, beyond the day and what people call love, which is not necessarily love, as we've come to realize, I started to try to say, what do women want? And I started asking myself, started studying it, reading about it. I've not finished studying it. I don't think I fully understand all that anybody wants, whether male or female. I think that I will not make myself and just say generic things and just say things that may not be true for your personal circumstance. But I think it's important to understand that I've come to realize that there are some broad things that the female folk, that somebody that is a female tends to appreciate. And if you understand it, somebody said to me many years ago, he said, know this, no peace. If you understand these things, that you may have it easier as you relate with women. I'm not talking not necessarily Valentine, as you relate with the with female with females, it will be better for you, right? So, what's the first thing I think that women want as we seek to relate with females, especially in a relationship, in a male female courtship? One of the things I think women desire and want is security. If I'm if I say something I don't agree, please go ahead and put it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an expert in these things. I'm also a learner. I'm also open to learning and understanding. But I haven't learned. I haven't tried to study and taken time to read, observe. Uh, I think women want security. Now, this security translates to different things. It's not necessarily, notice I said security. I didn't necessarily say money. It's, but money, finance is one of the things that can give security. But what women generally will like to feel a sense of security. And they want it's important that if you want to be a successful in your relationship, in your marriage, with your partner, that you try to provide a sense of security. And remember, notice that I'm saying a sense of security. It may not necessarily be actually be full security. And now, when I say women, like I said, they are outliers. You know, they are, no. There are some people that may not care much about security because in their own face they can provide their own security. So they want some other things. But generally speaking, as a woman grows, as a woman wants, the woman wants to feel secured. They want to feel that there's somebody in my life that provides some form of security. Um, and you may disagree with me. I know this may. I know maybe I'm trading even somebody said, take this topic you are taking. Maybe are you sure you want to discuss this? Will not be sexist, will not be misogynist or whatever. So, but I think generally that a sense of security, and if you look at it and compare it also, this may be a social construct. Definitely, it may not be I think it may not be a biological, but I think it's also a genetic, biological construct. Women tend to want to feel secured. They tend to, okay, you agree with me. Thank you, Julian. Okay, they tend to want to feel that. So the woman may be the one providing all the money. I don't you generally speaking, when the woman becomes becomes the person that provides financial security, the man may need to do extra to provide that sense because that upends the social construct. I have a friend that says, oh, his own thing is 50-50. So anything in his house, everything in his home, whether it's school fees, whether it's rent, whether it's everything, he and his wife, they share 50-50. He also shares house chores 50-50. So what do we think of? So we call him 50-50. We call him guy 50-50. And that's so they I think they've been able to negotiate and come up with a as far as roles in that home are concerned. But I think if maybe a dog goes wild and is trying to bite, I think the wife and he will expect that he should protect. And if something happens and he does not protect, I think they'll, because it's just whether this is a social construct, I think it's a social construct. I also think it's a biological construct because that, if we check in nature, if we check uh, in the vast majority of nature, it's the male of of the species that tends to provide security. There are a few other, there are some exemptions, as in life. So that's why I said the things I'm saying, they are not sacrosanct. There are exemptions. There are exemptions where the job of security is done by the female species. But generally speaking, that's what we see. And generally speaking, in my interaction, and of course, this may be because of where I am, because of what I see. I've come to see the people I've related with, people I've spoken with. I think generally speaking, women want security. They want to feel secure. They want to have a sense that I am safe. I am safe with this person. Doesn't mean that men don't want security. Of course, we want it. But by societal construct, also, we are the ones that are the ones that provide security. So, good advice to any man out there um, trying to toast someone, trying to cut someone, trying to get into a relationship with someone, and trying to be the man. Please provide security, right? Provide security for the person and demonstrate it. Demonstrate it. I say to people in relationship, when we talk relationship matters, people don't change, right? So Your spouse, whoever it is, you've married him for 5 years, 2 years, whatever, and you now say he has changed. No, not really. The person doesn't really change. I think I've said this earlier when we were talking about intimate partner abuse. People don't change; they just become more of what they are. So if somebody while you're courting does not does it's not generous towards you, doesn't care about you, insults you, abuse you, is not protective towards you, the odds are that when you marry that person, that's what it's going to be. Don't expect him to change. So look out for it. Look out for the signs while you are there. So what else do women want? Huh? Anybody, you can give me an advice. Just drop it in the comment. The things that you think women want. What are some of the things that you think women want? And then we'll discuss it and see how it goes. The other thing I think women want is women want intimacy. Please, I want you to note that I didn't say sex. And it's men that need sex. I think men need sex. We'll talk about that next week. Um, but what men, understanding men, I think one of the things we also need to understand about women is that women want intimacy. So it's not sex. So I remember somebody wrote a letter. But she wrote a letter and she put it on Facebook and said that to the men of all over the world, that what they want is that when you ask for a cuddle, they are not asking for sex. They just want to be cuddled. They just want you to, just cuddle. Now, why must cuddle? That when you say just hold me doesn't mean remove my clothes. Just hold, just hold me. So and I've discussed this with people, discussed it with people from women want plenty money. Okay, yeah, I think that is linked to security. Because if you look at it, some women are actually the ones that they pay the bills, but they just and they pay somebody, they support a man, and that man is like is a deadbeat, but yet they're there. I really don't understand sometimes why that happens. Why I keep asking why does I think that man provides some sort of security that I don't know. That woman feels I can't do this on my own, right? But they want money. I think everybody wants money, but women and men, we all need some money. So women want intimacy, and that's why you see a woman. I think sometimes the need for intimacy trumps the desire for money. Because that's why some women actually they are the ones that maintain their man. But that man knows how to say the right things. He knows how to get that woman hooked. Because I think intimacy is an important thing that every woman wants. The sense of that I am loved, that I'm close to someone, that I'm shielded by someone. So it will be unfortunate for you if you're a man and just say, "Wow, don't you know I love you? I told you I love you last week." That should be enough. No, 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 no. It's not enough. You need to reaffirm and reaffirm and reaffirm that you are special, um, you are precious, you are new, you are different. You need to do it continuously because women want intimacy. Women want intimacy. What are the other things that we think women want? That we think women want? You can say to me. You just write it there. Write it there. Somebody say women want money. I say women want security. I say women want intimacy. We also need to, as we understand women, yeah. One of the things that we also need to understand about women is that women think differently from men. Right? Generally speaking, women are are more emotional than men, right? And this may also be as a result of social constructs. Like I said, remember the things I'm saying, they are open to debate, um, they are open to discussion. And I think this also has some biological backgrounds. Some of the hormones that women express are hormones that make you more expressive. They are and while generally speaking, men are more aggressive because of testosterone. Testosterone makes you aggressive, makes you voice. What all these changes that you see that makes me different from a woman came by the result of the hormone testosterone. That you grow beard, your voice, is deep. Your fat levels, the way you react, aggressiveness. You're more aggressive. Generally speaking, of course, there are some aggressive women, pretty aggressive women. But there are also some men that are gentle. I think I'm a gentle guy. I like to think I'm a gentle guy. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. I don't know. But expressive. So women, generally speaking, are more emotional. But this is also, I think, a societal construct because men too are emotional. But you are taught early as a guy, as a boy, that you have to, be a man. Don't talk like this. Men don't do this. Men don't do that. So we learn also to repress our emotions. So we learn not to ask for help. When women find it more easier to talk to themselves, to be more expressive, it's okay for the woman to shed a tear or two, but it's okay. How are you a man? How can a man be crying? And then it's generally expected that men also should eat more food and stuff like that. But generally speaking, I think women are more expressive. They are more able to be emotional, to reveal their emotions than men. And so a man should understand. So it may make sense to you, it may not make sense to you. You might need to understand that your spouse, your partner, processes things differently from you. That she may say this, but it doesn't mean that she may express her emotion. Doesn't mean that she's any less than you are. She's just who's being who um, she is. The way women also think is a little different. Women may think, yes, women want attention. And that's part of the intimacy skills that I think all men must learn. A man may say things and just, like I remember I read somewhere, a man wanted to appreciate what his wife was wearing. Wow, this clothes looks like what I saw that prostitute on. How can you say that? That's crazy. How can you be describing what your wife wore with what a prostitute wore? A woman is going to take that and is going to take it personal. But the man may just feel, I'm just talking. It just looks like it. You shouldn't say that. Women want to be respected. I think that is, when we talk about that, I think that's more of a need for men than women because of that hormone, that alpha spirit. A man wants to dominate, a man wants to rule, a man wants to, a man wants to feel respected. We'll discuss that next week. Women want attention. That's very important from what we've said. So we are teaching this class together. Fantastic. They do want attention. You're a guy, your wife just made an hair, just made a new hair do. You better notice it. You better notice and say, wow, this looks nice on you. Because intimacy, complimenting, attention, right? Very, very, very important. I'm not sure we'll be able to exhaust all that women want, but what we are saying is that as we seek to understand women, we need to know that women and men are different, right? And I, I want the women folk out there to also know that men are different. That you are giving a guy sex, as we try to talk about Valentine now. That you're giving a guy sex, you're just giving something that he wants. Sex for him doesn't necessarily mean that he's being intimate with you. So